Brain rot. When I say these words, you probably think of the slop that is corrupting the brains of our youth. Now, although brain rot is a relatively new term, it has always been a thing. Like just a few years ago, we found this funny. Look, people are always going to be complaining about the current trending meme. And look, let's be real, memes back then are just as shitty as they are now. The reality is... Wait, do you hear that?
Hello, I am XX Swagnamite hashtag YOLO420XX and I will be giving you your secret mission instructions today.
This game that you see here embodies everything about MLG, and it is called...
Game of the Year 420 Blazit vs XX Illuminati XXX while/10 Rect Edition montage parody the game.
And if for whatever reason you want to play this game, you can get at the dev's website right here. The game has stellar reviews on its site, such as
10 out of 10 it's okay IGN, 420 out of 420, great mate I rate 8 out of 8 no hate straight from my heart.
Scrolling down to the system requirements section reveals that the game can run on a potato, but it is recommended to play using a NASA supercomputer, which might be a bit pricey but well worth it for peak content. The game was developed by Andy Sun, who went on to create... Wait, he made Crossy Road? So this is the actual real Crossy Road. So the guy who made...
Game of the Year 420 Blazit vs XX Illuminati XXX while/10 Rect Edition montage parody the game.
Went on to make one of the most popular mobile games I've ever played? Anyways, back to
Game of the Year 420 Blazit vs XX Illuminati XXX while/10 Rect Edition montage parody the game.
In terms of gameplay itself, there isn't much to say. It's a giant shitpost, the game only takes like 15 minutes to complete at most, and the mechanics, although fun, are pretty bare bones. Now, while I will talk about the gameplay a little bit, the main thing I want to point out are all the old MLG references you can find throughout the game. For example, when you first start, you'll notice that your ammo capacity is out of 1337, which is short for lead speak. The use of Comic Sans, the Illuminati, which according to the most reputable MLG source, was a group founded in May 1st, 1776 by Adam Weishaupt. The Illuminati convinced people to oppose superstition, obscurantism, religious influence over public life, and abuses of state power. The group has multiple notable figures such as Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, George Washington, Barney the Dinosaur, and Peppa Pig. More importantly were the events that they were involved in. Some of these things were 9/11, Obamacare, World War I and II, the French Revolution, Minecraft, Fortnite, Call of Duty Ghosts. Wait, what were we talking about again? Oh, right, the game. Back to the game. Can't forget about Doritos and Mountain Dew, the official food and beverage of MLG. The game absolutely bombards you with more references than I could ever list out here. I mean, just look at this. I think I might have tinnitus now. At one point, you enter the non-linear gameplay section, where you have the choice of going left towards Shrek Swamp, or right towards accounting. You get given two guns in this section. The golden AK, which is a hella hype gun from COD, or the sniper rifle, which is the poster child for MLG weaponry. Although it looks like this. So the entire game is just shoot the Illuminati, eat Doritos and drink Mountain Dew, pick up some dank guns, and then shoot more Illuminati. Simple enough. At the end, you enter Shrek's Swamp, where you have a showdown with Robot Mecha Shrek. I quickscoped all of his Illuminati minions until it was just me and him. I quickscoped him while closing the distance until I was right in his face, where I pulled out my shotgun and blasted him point blank. After a few shots, I beat him, revealing a huge plot twist that I just can't describe, and that I think you should just see for yourself.
Actually, it's Spider-Man. The Illuminati put me into Robot Mecha Shrek, and now I am here, one with Shrek. And my heart and soul is full of holes. Shrek is love. Shrek is life. Now I know you are wondering, because I am wondering the same question too. But if I am killed, then who was phone?
And that's the end of... But I'm not done quite just yet, because there's actually a sequel to this game, and that game is rightfully named
420 Blazit 2. Game of the year equals Dank Dreams and Goated Memes equals /11 like and subscribe. Poggers Edition.
A fitting name for the successor. Now, reading the Steam page, the game talks about its various selling points that sell it as a true sequel to the first game, such as 13 levels of neuron obliterating fun, new weapons such as Shitty Pistol, Big D, Goated Shoddy, only if you're cool, Op, and many more, and a healthy amount of consumables that grant you cool power. So I did what any sane person would do once they heard about this game: bought it, downloaded it, and gave it a fair shot. Unlike the last game, there's an actual menu screen and you are able to change the settings within the game, everything from graphical and audio adjustments to changing your in-game sensitivity and keybinds. And as someone who is a real sweaty online competitive shooter player, being able to change your sensitivity is a huge deal. The intro is...
Hey Lisa, I'm Top Secret Dave and I will be giving you your super secret mission instructions.
8 out of 8, mate. Doing the tutorial, the game actually plays a lot differently when compared to the first game. For starters, they removed some of the unnecessary movements like leaning, as leaning felt more like a cosmetic feature that actually really didn't have much of a purpose. In its place, they added a few new mechanics, one of which was kicking. Kicking serves both as a melee attack and a way to open doors. They also gave you the ability to slide, which makes combat and overall level traversal very fast and very fun. The game itself also looks quite different. Other than the raw graphical upgrades that come with making a sequel a decade later, I believe they got an artist to draw new versions of all the memes, but with the Illuminati on them. On top of that, they no longer directly rip from Doritos and Mountain Dew. Instead, they have their own version, Portillo's and Fountain Duo. At the end of the tutorial, you get your fated showdown with Illuminati Mecha Shrek, where the game ends just how you remember it. The difference is, however, is that instead of the game closing on its own, you wake up to the news talking about the world phenomenon where all the memes are being replaced by an Illuminati counterpart. You put on this T-Mew looking Oculus ripoff and get a mission debrief by the guy you saw at the beginning of the game.
The Illuminati have stolen all the world's memes and hidden them in the deepest layers of the memeverse. The Illuminati have created 10 challenging scenarios to prevent any mere mortal from rescuing the memes. But you are no mere mortal, are you? It's time to begin your mission, Agent 69. Top Secret Dave, out.
And that's the main plotline of the story. The first mission we are playing is Space Cake, and it opens up with me eating the world's biggest space cake, which I can only presume is a brownie mixed with a little bit of green magic. As the moment I take a bite, I start hallucinating getting kidnapped by aliens and... oh wait, I wasn't hallucinating. Now, throughout the level, you are able to pick up a variety of power-ups that help you complete the mission, which is to shoot a bunch of aliens and get to the end. For example, Focus, which I'm pretty sure is just Adderall, slows everything down as if you are playing in the bullet time mode for the duration of the buff. Another buff on the top of my head is Retro Wave, which, to be honest, I don't really know what it does, at least when I was playing it. And not only are you able to pick up buffs, but you are able to pick up a variety of different weapons as well, although you are only able to carry 2 different weapons at a time. So for example, here I picked up a katana, which is a melee weapon, but when I hold right click, I am able to deflect bullets, which allows me to close the distance to chop up some enemies brute ninja style. There's also a variety of different grenades you can pick up as well. You've got your standard frag grenade, which just does damage like in any other game, but you've also got a space grenade, which pulls enemies together kind of like a mini graviton surge from Overwatch's Zarya. Now, everything I've described so far makes it sound like an actual normal game, but don't forget that this is a dank MMG game, and there are plenty of moments where the game just does not let you forget that. It took me 8 minutes and 35 seconds to complete the first level, but you can definitely go much faster, especially since there are some people who have already started speedrunning this game. So after completing the mission, Dave talks to us about a bunch of random shit. To be honest, I don't really remember what most of it was, but the one thing I did remember was that every mission has a checklist that you can complete, which upon completion unlocks a special weapon that you can use. Now this is actually one of my favorite features of the game. First of all, it adds a lot of replay value to the game. You want to replay some of the missions so that you can complete the checklist to earn new weapons. And that might sound annoying for some people, but to be honest, after you complete the level the first time, the second time should be a cinch and you should be able to do it in just a few minutes. And then once you complete the checklist, you unlock the weapon and then you can replay the level again using the new funny goofy weapon. On top of the replay value, some of the checklist missions kind of feel a bit nostalgic to me. Let me explain. Let's look at the first missions checklist. Don't die, scrub, where to complete, surprise surprise, you don't die. The retrieve the hidden goated weapon checklist mission requires you to go to this hidden elevator, which you are able to retrieve the gun, but then have to fight fucking Illuminati Metal Sonic. And surprisingly, it's a pretty hard fight as I almost died. The pew pew, the astronauts on the moon mission, requires you to go almost out of balance on the map to find the astronauts acting out. The always has been meme, where all you gotta do is gun them down. The eat all the cookies is pretty simple. At the end of the level, there are some cookies on the floor that are pretty easy to miss, and then you just gotta eat them. Now, the reason why I think these checklist missions are nostalgic is because they kind of remind me of those old Call of Duty zombie Easter egg missions where when you do some wacky task, you get a cool weapon to fuck around with as a reward. Once you complete the mission, you earn the goated shitty pistol, which is a golden pistol that shoots in triple round bursts. Now, every mission from what I saw has its own checklist and reward weapon. The second mission, Truthland, is essentially a level where I infiltrate a flat earther themed mini theme park, or something like that. The reward weapon for completing the checklist for this one is the OZ Salt Rifle. Now, I didn't think there was anything special about this weapon when I first saw it, but actually every time you fire it, it plays text-to-speech insults, and every time you reload flipping your middle finger. So when they said salt, they meant the gaming salty type salt, if you get what I'm trying to say. The third and final mission that I played is Area 51, where you storm Area 51. Who would have guessed? And one of the missions is to find the ninja running zombies. Man, I forgot about that meme. Can't believe it was from 2019. The reward weapon for this mission is the dubstepper, which looking at it, you can probably guess what it does. And that was as far as I went in
420 Blazit 2. Game of the year equals Dank memes and go to memes equals. /11 like and subscribe. Podcast edition.
Now, when I decided to make this video, I was only expecting to play the first game that came out years ago. So it was a huge surprise to find out that there was a sequel, albeit a welcome one. If the first game was a shitpost that overused outdated memes, then the new game is a surprisingly well-developed game that is short yet complete, that also overuses outdated memes. What else can I say other than that the game is actually pretty fun to play, and that I recommend that if you like MLG memes to just give this game a shot. My only regret was that I didn't play this game long enough to ever use the sniper. Anyways, my final rating for this game is...
Great mate, I rate 8 out of 8, no hate straight from my heart.
And that's the end of the video. If you liked it, make sure to give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to ring that notification bell because I think it does something. I'm just gonna keep talking because I need this video to hit 13 minutes and 37 seconds. So if you see me randomly cutting out, that probably means that it's already hit 13 minutes and 37 seconds, but I don't really know yet. So